Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to some more Kill Team. I am gonna add a little tiny bit of extra to this today, so it's still not like approved ops or anything like that. But this is basically one of the... We're gonna be doing basically the same mission type, just with a different layout. So I'm just using this layout here. Not obviously the exact terrain, because I would like it to look a little bit more interesting. And then, so it's still just going to be mainly scoring on killing and capturing the 3 objectives that are on the field. But then I'm also just going to include one of the TAC ops, and I'm not even going to do it like specifically how it states to do it, because I just want to add a little bit of extra every time that I play this to try to, you know, get a little bit more of the flavor and the feeling of what it is, if that makes sense. So, but before we get into that, if you are not subscribed, we are doing a giveaway once we hit 1,000 subs. We're, you know, slowly making our way there. We've got a core set of the Clone Wars for Legion. We've got one of the original core sets for Empire for Legion, a Yoda, and there may or may not be some other things that come up between now and then that I decide to throw into that as well. So if you're interested in any of that stuff and you're not already, hit the sub button. We do some tabletop stuff, and I like to think that we have some fun. So, but while you're here today is Kill Team. So let's bring you down, and we'll let's take a look at some stuff real quick. So I'm using the starter book cards, which from what I can gather, looking at them on the app and online and stuff, these cards have more rules than they do in the starter set little pamphlet thing. Again, I'm just gonna a little bit at a time here. So we're using these for both the Angels of Death and the Plague Marines. And then I'm using some of the faction rules and 2 of the faction equipment per side. I don't think one of these is even going to come into place for the Angels of Death, but hey, we're going to try to use it just, again, to add something here, okay? So I've got the Purity Seals and the Tilting Shields. The Tilting Shields, I don't know if they're really going to come into play, but we'll see. Maybe against the fighter. He does have severe, so maybe. We'll see. And then the Purity Seals, that's just free changes, really, so that should be fine. And then the faction rule is for chapter tactics. I'm probably going to use Hardy, which is whenever an operative is shooting this operative, I get to crit on 5 ups instead of 6 ups. So that sounds good to me. And I think I was going to go with aggressive. So my melee weapons have the rending weapon rule. Now I'm a little confused as to whether or not like it says this operative. I don't really know. It just says during each Angel of Death operative activation, perform either... Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Gotta stack these just for space sake. But selecting a kill team, select a primary and a secondary for friendly Angel of Death operatives to gain in the battle. I don't know if that means 2 keywords for everybody or 2 keywords for each person. I feel like it'd be really hard to keep up with 2 extra things per person, so I really don't know. I'm just going to play the same 2 keywords across everybody, and that's just what we're going to do. That's, again, it's probably not correct, but again, I'm not really aiming for correct. I'm aiming for getting a better feel for stuff, and then we'll work out the specifics as we go. Let's see. Can we get over here? Yeah, kind of. So, also for the Angels of Death, I'm running the Eliminator Sniper, not the heavy guy this time, just for something different. And then over here, I'm running the Flail guy, the Fighter, instead of the Icon Bearer. So, again, just for something different that we didn't do this past weekend. But for their equipment, I've got the Playgrounds and the Poison Vents, because I felt like that was thematic and complements each other. So when they shoot people, if they do damage, they're going to put a poison token on people, so they're going to get some extra free damage, and there's potentially even more damage that's going to come from that with Poison Vents. The faction rule basically just gives all the bolt guns poison, thick, Or maybe not. Oh, that's just explaining what poison is. Never mind. So that kind of goes with playgrounds. Got it. And then they have the same Astartes rule where they could double shoot or double whatever, but then there's like a requirement. I may or may not pay a ton of attention to that. It's just whether or not I think about it. And then disgustingly resilient is actually on all of the cards on the little pamphlet thing. So not super worried about that. Now, our scoring. So I've went ahead and deployed my people in my little rectangles. So both teams are out on the field. Our 3 objectives are placed. The tac op that I was going to try to implement into this, which again, I don't think you play these the way that I'm using this, but I'm just kind of using it as like a secondary kind of objective, just for some extra something, is recon. So basically I've got 2, and again, the wording of this, kind of confusing, especially when I'm playing by myself. It's harder to learn or figure something out because I don't have somebody who knows how to play it to like correct things and to teach me on stuff, which is part of why I do this live, just in case, you know, y'all want to hang out and do so. But basically it looks like you've got 2 sub objectives, and I think you're supposed to do it for your opponent. I am just me. So I've got the Plague Marines objective. Basically, each of us have one objective almost in each other's deployment zones, and then on either side of the field. So the Plague Marines are here, and then mine are here. So kind of more or less the same, but just something else, I guess, to work to move toward to pick up. And if we do pick those up, you get 2 victory points. So yeah, basically all we need to do is have somebody pick them up and you'll get 2 victory points. So that could be an easier thing. Maybe if I'm struggling with some of the regular objectives, I could go for that instead. We'll see. Also, I'm not playing with the solo mode stuff. One, I don't have the full rulebook. I do have like a reference sheet, but I would rather have the full rulebook to like really understand how that works. So I'm just going to be playing myself. Just again, for the sake of trying to get reps in, quote unquote, but also just to figure it out. And it's something that I'm like interested in doing, so I just want to do it. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to stop rambling because I think it is time to actually play. Now, I think the next time we do this, I will probably try to do a more traditional, like preliminary ops structure with like using the ploys and stuff. That could be interesting. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Whew, okay. So, where's my little round counter? Don't know. Let me grab it real quick. Just because it's going to be easier to keep track of stuff. There we go. Also got the the iPad down here pulled up to try to keep track of chat with you guys, because if you were here Sunday, you'd know that the TV that I use for like OBS reference and chat and everything, it has died. So I don't have anything to look at, so I've just got the iPad down here. So if I'm looking over here more, my computer and the monitors and everything are off to my right, whereas typically I'm looking in front of me. So, you know, it is what it is. So round 1, we're going to check for initiative, which this is me, this is them, so they've got initiative, so they're gonna go first. Cool. Okay, so we can't score anything in round 1 anyways, and I think let's see. Basically, there's going to be a lot of move dashing, I believe. They all move, all the Plague Marines move 5 inches, so I've got a total of 8 I can go with. Let's see. Everybody is deployed concealed, obviously. So we've got 5, 2-ish for 8. Or 6 2-ish for 8. So that's the captain's turn. Now it's going to be my turn. Now, I already know basically what I'm going to want to do with this guy, so I'm just going to move him up into cover. And he's going to be staying concealed, probably, and he's probably going to stay there because he does have heavy on all of his sniper rifle versions. And, but he does have silent, so I can keep him concealed. And I don't think in this setting he can be shot at sitting behind these barriers, ever. Unless, I don't know, actually. Because you can't... If you're concealed, can you get engaged in melee? I don't know. Not sure how that works. So, another mistake. You yell at me later. It's fine. Back to them. So again, I've got a total of 8. Let's... 3, 6, 8-ish. Now, there's, you know, it's not going to be an exact science, so it is what it is, guys. You're just going to have to bear with me to some capacity. Let's back to the Angels of Death, which, let's be clear, I am primarily playing the Angels of Death. I love the way that I painted these dudes up, and Space Marines are just fucking cool. So, you know, I think these guys move kind of a mixture of stuff, but a lot of them move 6. I think I might just move this dude here. Something else you might be able to clarify. You can only change your order once per activation, so I would assume that, like, this dude, I could put him into engage, shoot, and then I just hope that he lives until the next activation, and then I could conceal him again, I guess? It seems a little confusing. I don't guess you could, like, start the next engagement, engaged, also shoot, and then conceal at the end of it. That is something I'm a little unsure about. But I think this dude's going to play it safe. I think I'm just going to move their heavy up here. That seems like a good spot for him to cover. So the 2 point's going to be hot. Just put it that way. Back to me. Let's see, my warrior has a movement of 6, so we could go 3, 6, 3. We can scooch this dude over here, which, I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Back to this crack grenade guy. I think scooch him up here. There. I will say I like the double-sided kind of slightly curved like type of order tokens, if you want to call them that. But it's going to be kind of tedious playing everything here. And I could see how playing a kill team of like 12 dudes or whatever, some of the bigger ones would be kind of tedious, but because they're so small and fiddly. Back to me. Unlike them. He's also got a 6-inch move. I think we're just going to scooch him over here. You know, we'll dash just a little bit just to get a little bit of extra distance. Yeah, I don't know. My captain died pretty quick the first time we played this, which, to be very clear, this is all of the second time I've ever had kill team on the table and have anything out, so bear with me. It's their turn, though. First round. I don't know if there's any way around not having the first round be, like, super anticlimactic and just kind of getting into position, essentially. Or if there's, like, kill teams that shake that up a little bit. The Plague Marines and the Angels of Death seem kind of like yin-yang type of teams. They're very, like, one for one, I guess, if that makes sense. There. Oh. I think actually, I'm gonna put this guy over here just in case. I don't know if I want to bring him around this side or not, so we'll see on that. My sergeant. I think we're gonna put him in cover right here, just in case. I'm kind of trying to evenly spread to a certain extent. The Plague Caster dude, though, what's his range? 7-inch range. Although the Plague Wind's actually pretty sweet, and it doesn't have a range. You know what? Just gonna scooch him over here so he's got. I'm just gonna leave that face up because he is the last dude. I've just got to go with this guy here, and I believe I want. I think this guy I'm also just gonna scooch just a little bit. Okay. Now we start getting into the shoosting. And if any of you have watched me play myself, you know that my dice rolls against myself are second to none. My own dice rolls, though, sometimes not great. Okay. Everybody's flipped. We're going into round 2 of 4. And now it's scoring turns. So now is where the fun begins. So, roll for initiative. This is me. Okay, this is them. All right, they're going first. Which actually, gonna say, actually, kind of, it's not terrible. Because all my dudes are still really in concealed. But there's somebody who is definitely not going to be concealed, and that is my captain. Now, something we did not do last weekend, which I think I'm going to do now. We're going to go here with this guy. And I think we are going to try... Let's see, he's got an 8-inch range, hot. Piercing 1, 4, 3 up. Does a tiny bit more damage. Does have piercing 1 and severe. Okay, we're going to try to do this because it does have a self-damaging mechanic, which we didn't try last time, so that could be interesting. Got an 8-inch range, but he's going to have to move. And I guess actually he's going to move just enough to be in control range, which is what, 1 inch? I'm not sure. I mean, let's be real. He has enough distance to be in control range of that. So I'm not going to sweat it too much. I'm sorry, I'm trying to change the camera angle so I'm not blocking you with my head. So pardon me. So he's going to scooch over here to be in control range of that. That's one action. He is going to shoot, because he does have 3 AP. I think he's going to, before anybody else gets into range of that, he is going to capture this, which I'm using these little tokens to indicate who has what. And I think he's going to shoot our boy here, who, if I understand the rules correctly, should absolutely be a free shot. And just for extra sadness, we'll make it nice and close. Now, the Plague Marine Champion Plasma Pistol Supercharge is 4 dice on 3 up, 5/6 damage, range 8, but it is hot, piercing 1, and severe. So severe, I think, is if you get no crits, you get a crit. So that's good. You're always guaranteed 1 crit. Piercing 1 reduces my defense dice by, in this case, 1, and hot. Roll d6 for action. If less than hit, do damage rolled up. Operative. Yeah, this we definitely had to look up before because the way that it phrases that is confusing. Let me read the actual rule book here. Okay. After an operative uses his weapon, roll a d6. If the result is less than the weapon's hit stat, the operative takes damage equal to the dice rolled multiplied by 2. So, that is pretty self-explanatory. So let's just go ahead and do our damage roll. 4 dice, 3 up. So to be clear, our thing was move, shoot, capture. Okay, double crits and a hit. And I guess we could probably just go ahead and do my damage roll, which is only going to be 2 dice. And we're looking for 3 ups as well. Okay, double saves. Now, before I do this, I'm going to look at a thing, because after our game this past weekend, I was trying to look up some of the stuff that, you know, confused me a little bit. And I believe I looked at some stuff about 1 hit for 1 hit, or 2 hits for a crit. In melee, there isn't a 2-hit for crit rule, just 1-1. So, in shooting, I can use these 2 regulars to block one of these crits, which probably makes the most sense. Although, even just the regular damage does 5. So, I could either block 5 damage, and only 5 damage, or I could use the 2 to block 6 damage. So, I might as well just block one of the crits, but that's still going to be 11 damage on my captain, which is very rough. And then for the hot rule, I'm rolling 1d6, and if it is less than the hit stat, I get that damage multiplied by 2. So the hit stat is 3. So I'm looking for a 3 up. So he is good. So I guess if I'd rolled a 1 or a 2, I'd either take 2 damage or 4 damage. Kinda neat. Okay. So that was pretty good for them. I'm not gonna lie. That's rough, actually. That's real rough. I'm like kind of tempted to fight that guy. Lethal 5 up, piercing. Honestly, I might just do the exact same thing back. That petty? I feel like it's petty. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways, because that's just... maybe I get luckier, you know? So, let's just put this right back where we just were. And... actually, hold. So, I could fight twice, and with the Astartes roll, I could shoot twice, but I'm not using a bolt weapon, so I cannot shoot twice. But I could fight twice, but that could also kill me very easily. So I'm not going to get 2 shoots. And I was using... no, I was using Hardy, but that didn't matter, so that's fine. And that has to do with melee weapons. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of some of the extra stuff that we've added here a little bit. I guess I'm going to move into control range, but I don't want to be in range of this dude. And actually, I try to stay hidden a little bit. So we'll scooch over and I guess shoot. And we're going to also do a supercharged plasma pistol shot with the captain. Give me 4 dice, 3 up, 5, 6, exactly the same. Range 8, hot, piercing 1, but instead of severe, we've got lethal 5 up. So we're critting on 5s. So 4 dice. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right. They get double 6s. I get not even a 5 when I have lethal 5 up. Feels bad. So they're going to be rolling 2 as well. Okay. Double saves. So nothing, no damage to them. Also, real quick, does the plasma pistol do poison? Or is it just the bolt guns? I think it's just the bolt guns. Bolt guns, bolt pistols have the poison and severe keyword. Yes. Okay. So, no poison. Okay, I just want to make sure retroactively that I wasn't missing something. Okay. So, I'm looking for anything 3 up. You can't make this up. You actually can't make this up. You know why? Because I just used that hot. It's that number multiplied by 2, which is what? 4 damage. How much health do I have? 15. How many wounds did I take in the first fight? 11. He just killed himself with a plasma pistol. You. Oh my god. I did no damage to him and killed myself. Incredible. Oh my god. Yeah. Again, if you watch, you know how this goes. So that is 1 point for them. Unfortunate. And even more unfortunate, it's their turn. I was also hoping he would just live so that if I got another guy over there, I'd have enough people to take that objective, but ew, that did not work. I don't really know. Legcaster can't really... There's not really any good options for them to fight anybody or do anything right this moment. I think... Well, let's put this back before I forget. I think we might move this guy. We might just scooch him over, and we're gonna keep him concealed. I think that feels like all we're gonna want to do with that guy. And I'm gonna try to err on the side of caution, says the guy who just literally blew himself up, essentially. Some leader this guy is. But yeah, I don't like looking at this. I don't know. Now, this guy, well, that's a tough one. I think we might go here. I'm gonna move. Be an attack. We're going to take this objective, which if you didn't figure it out, I'm blue, they're orange. That's just the colors I'm using to indicate these. And I'm gonna shoot their fighter, which, because I've only done one action, I should be able to shoot twice. And that is the warrior, 4 dice, 3 up, 3, 4, range 8. Well within range 8. Piercing crits 1, so they're only going to get 2 defense dice. Is that all hits? That is all hits. No crits, but okay. That is what, 1 save on the fighter. Save 3 up. Yeah. So 1 save, that's 3 regular hits. That's gonna be 9 damage. So 9 damage. Now they do have disgustingly resilient, which they roll a d6, and on a what, 3, 4. What is it? On a 5 up, subtract 1 damage. So on a 5 or a 6. Hold on. Whenever a dice attack inflicts damage on this operative, roll 1d6 on a 5 or 6. Subtract from the damage inflicted to a minimum of 2. So basically, anything over 3 damage, I'm going to roll a dice, and on a 5 or 6, they subtract 1. So, cool. No subtractions for that. So he's got 9 damage. But we're going to shoot him again, because we can do that. So, hitting a crit, that's pretty good. Double crit, doesn't matter. Okay. Second, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, I guess a kill would have been better, but that's okay. Also, can I just say I really dig this, like, orange board. It's just so strange that it's so freaking brightly colored. I'm working on repainting some stuff that I think will work well enough for Kill Team, because my 3D printers have died and I can no longer print any terrain. So I've got to work with what I've got. Now, I would love the Vulcus terrain, because that stuff looks great, but, you know. Okay, it's their turn. I will say these order tokens are really incredibly hard to see on this board, but that's okay. I think the fighter that actually just got shot should try to melee here if possible. They got a 5-inch move, 7. Oh yeah, they could charge for sure. Let's charge 1 action point. Yes, it is. And it can fight twice if it needs to. So let's just go ahead and swap this out. And this fella is just gonna charge in here. I'm not completely sure of the rules of whether or not. Oh, what's up, new? I'm not really sure of the rules on whether or not these guys can like stand on objectives or whatever, so that's fine. Now, if you're just joining new, you missed my literally lead guy blowing himself up with a pistol. So I did no damage to the other guy and killed myself with his own gun. It was great. Okay, fighter. He has got 5 dice. Actually, I wonder. Did I set up? Oh, look at that, dude. Almost like I do this sometimes. 3, 5. Hitting on 3 ups. 4, 5. Brutal, severe shock. Brutal. Opponent can only block with crits. That is terrible. Well, that's great. Everybody got to witness it in his blunder. Severe, guaranteed 1 crit and shock. First crit strike in each sequence. Guard 1. Yep, I'm not even going to use that one because it's confusing. In a fight, the first time an operative with his weapon strikes using a crit, your opponent must discard one of their normal successes. Oh, okay, that sounds awful. Okay, so this dude's probably gonna get something here. Maybe not, because he rolled a bunch of misses. Looks like he's got 3 though. Yeah, 3 up. And because of severe, you have 1 crit. Okay, so he's got 3. Cool. And I can only defend with crits. Okay, that sucks. And hardy is only when shooting, but tilting shields once per turn when a friendly Angel of Death operative is fighting or retaliating. After your opponent rolls their attack dice, but before... Oh, right. I don't defend the same way. Sorry, I gotta roll his melee dice. We'll do that in a second. If you do, your opponent cannot retain attack dice results of less than 6 as critical successes during that sequence. I don't know if that really would have mattered in that instance because it was a hit to a crit. You're talking the difference of 1 singular damage. I would rather maybe save that rule for when there's nothing, and severe would be like 1 crit, because then you're talking the difference of 0 to 6 damage. So we're just going to ignore that. Anyways. So this guy has a chain sword. He's got 5 dice on 3-ups. Okay. 5 dice, 3-ups. But I can only defend with crits. Does that mean I can't defend any of this? Is that how this works? Because of brutal? Opponent can only block with crit. What does it say in this? Because my little reference sheet sometimes. Only block with crit. Normally says cannot be used to block this weapon. Okay, so I can still use them, but I can only block with crits. Got it. Oh, okay. So, that is rough. And because he charged, he's going to go first. We're going to inflict damage with this crit because of shock, which makes me disregard one of my regular damages, if I understand that correctly. Shock, shock, shock. Your opponent must discard one of their normal successes. Yes, okay. So a crit from the fighter is 5 damage. Go ahead and set that over here. I literally can only do damage, so we'll just do some damage back. That is 4 damage. That is 13. No, we'll just use another 13. I need like some D24s or something for this game to keep track of wounds. He's gonna do... Actually, he is gonna parry that, because if I did that to him again, he would die. He's only got 1 wound left. So I don't have anything else to do, so this one's just gonna go into doing damage, which is another 5. Another 5. So that is a total of 10. Now, he could technically fight a second time, but it would probably be his death. But depending... Well, actually, because he's the one initiating, as long as he gets to do damage first, he would come out of that. We're going to do that. I think that that's going to work in his favor, so we're going to do that. So we got 5 dice, 3-ups. 4, 5. Oh, yeah. I've got 5 dice, 3-ups. I can only block with crits, and it literally doesn't matter because I rolled a bunch of potatoes. So he goes first. Literally all he has to do is do damage with something, and he's going to kill me because I only have 4 wounds left. His base damage is... Oh, he's 4/5, but he has a crit, so we'll just do damage with the crit. That would get rid of one of my damages anyways, and that kills me, so... This man has died. Sad. I think the last time those were the 2 people that died almost immediately also. And he can't capture that actually this round because he just moved and attacked twice. So he doesn't have a point to take that. So that's good. Unless somebody else runs over there, I'll at least get that for this round as of right this second. Won't tell anybody. So, okay. That sucks. My turn. So excited. Oh, God dang, man. I'm not gonna lie, I am stumped. So, might be smart just to go ahead and move and shoot that guy just to get rid of him, to be honest. That also gives them a second victory point. I have not killed anything. So I think we should probably do that, and I'm going to need somebody to watch that point. So I think this dude is going to move a little bit out. Where's his token? I know it's over here. And just sure he stays in cover. So we're going to move out a smidge and shoot that guy, which he is the sergeant, so he's rolling 4 on 2-ups. 4 on 2-ups. 4 crit hit. Sergeant does have piercing crits 1, so he's only rolling 2 dice, looking for 3s. Okay, well, he's got 2 saves. I think it does more for him just to block the 2 regular hits, but he only has 1 wound, so if anything goes through, he has died, so works for me. He has died. And now I have 1 victory point. Now I can shoot again, technically, but I don't think I really have anything worth shooting, to be honest. So I think he's just gonna stay there. That seems like a good call. Now their turn. Let's go with already gone. What do they have left? The caster and the bombardier and the heavy guy. I've not gone with the heavy guy this round, but I didn't flip his token. That could be interesting. We'll keep that there, actually. So the Plaguecaster Plague Wind does not have a range. It does have Saturate, Severe, and Torrent 2 inches. Torrent is kind of an AoE, so that's not really going to affect him. Shock. Nope, wrong one. Severe. Just want to Saturate. Defender can't retain cover saves, which kind of takes my question out of that. Severe, guaranteed to crit 6 dice on 3-up. That is a pretty good attack. But it cannot select each ranged weapon more than once. So I think, what's his move? 5. I think he is going to move 5. Token. And then he's going to attack right here. So he's going to go for the sergeant. Although, well, no, they're all sorts of obscured. So cover doesn't matter here. 6 dice on a 3-up. So that's the first 6 dice hit that I've seen. So really the only thing that matters here is severe. It does 2 to 3 damage though. So 3-ups. That is a miss, and a miss. Okay, works for me. They got a crit, so our sergeant is gonna have all 3 dice. Yes. And we are looking for 3-ups. 3 saves, so crit for crit. Hit for hit. No damage. And he can shoot twice, but he can't but he can't shoot twice with those. God dang. All right. I'm okay with that. So he moved and shot. Be fair, I think he might want to dash. might get back into cover, but whatever. All right. It's my turn. Yes, it is my turn. Also, before I forget. So, where's the range? No range on that guy, and no range on this guy. Wish I had a grenade. That'd be good. I could shoot the plague caster. Could also go with the sniper and shoot the plague caster. Also, just kind of curious the damage output of the sniper, so we might just go with him out of curiosity because there's no cover or anything to deal with from here to here. So the sniper's got Executioner, 4 dice, 2 up. So they're all 4 dice, 2 up. Executioner is the heaviest hitting. They all have heavy. Does have saturate, so no cover anyways. Does have silent, so I could use it concealed. And punishing. What is punishing? You retain any crit, retain 1 fail as normal success. So if you get a crit, you lose a regular hit. So that's kind of weird. And then the Mortis sniper rifle is devastating 3, heavy, piercing 1, and silent. I like piercing. Saturate I don't really need in this instance. Each crit do X instant damage. Okay, that's also kind of confusingly worded. Hold on. Each critical success that is retained immediately inflicts the number of damage shown. In the example above, it inflicts 3 damage. Oh. Wait, what? Each critical success that is retained immediately inflicts the number of damage shown. That means they couldn't have picked a worse gun actually to show that with, because like this is devastating 3, but then the damage is 3/3. So in this case it doesn't matter, but what if it was like devastating 2 and the damage was 3/3? Or does the number on devastating always correspond to what its crit damage would be anyways? I don't know. So I'm gonna worry about. I'm gonna go with the Mortis sniper rifle, I think. It's 4 dice, 2 ups on the plague caster. It's not going anywhere, so we're just gonna flip that. And I believe I can shoot twice. A bolt weapon must be selected. If it's a bolt sniper rifle or heavy bolt, or 1 additional AP must be spent. I have 3, I believe. Yep. And I'm not moving anywhere, so it's just going to cost me all my actions to shoot twice. That's fine. All right. We got 4 dice on 2 up, 3/3 damage. So devastating 3, piercing 1, and silent. That's not a great roll. Oh shit, that was 2 up. What the hell was that other dice? I think it was a 2. It was literally a 2. Correct me if I'm wrong if anybody was looking. I'm pretty sure it was a 2. But no crits. Sad. So, okay. They're only going to get 2 defense dice. Plague caster. Looking for 3s. Double saves. That's 2 regulars for 6 damage on the plague caster. Go ahead and see if they save any. They do not. And then we'll just shoot them again with the same setup. 4 dice, 2 ups. Hey, we got a crit that time. And that just immediately does damage, and I don't think that can be affected in any way, so that's going to be up to 9 damage, because a crit is still 3. And then they roll their defense dice. They got 1 save. That's another 6. That's going to be 15. Either way, they're dead, because That would put them at 15 total. If they save it, they would still be at 14. They only have 14 health, so he is dead. So, Sniper living up to that name. Sweet. Exactly what I needed him to do. So, it is 2-2. It is their turn. So, they've still got their heavy and the crack grenade dude over here. I think... What's this guy's move? Bombardier. 5. So I could move a total of 8. 3. I think we can get in control range of that, which means we could take it, but we won't be able to attack anything. So we're not going to attack anything. We're just going to move 3, kind of 2-ish. Puts him like just in control range to take this. That's move, dash, capture, so he can't do anything else. So there has to be a way. Oh, well, I guess they have to be in cover, which I think you have to be, what, an inch? Which he is not. I was gonna say, there has to be a way you could, like, deal with people like that. But I guess if your capture point is right next to a piece of cover, maybe that would be an issue. But, like, my sniper, who's probably never going to move, can he just never be shot? Is he completely immune to the game? I don't know, because he's always going to be in cover. So, interesting. My turn. I've got a warrior and a, you guessed it, warrior. Both kind of the same and kind of different all at the same time. But, God, I haven't done any damage to their captain. Okay. Let's see, what's this guy's move? 6. 4-ish, 6. Okay, well, gonna see about getting to this capture thing, but would not be able to get close enough. I could come and steal this, but then that opens him up to get plague skewered. And I guess same thing if I try to go over there. Honestly, I feel like I kind of need, gotta kind of play it safe too. Actually, I am, because he is the last guy to go. I've got 2 guys, so I could take that safely. Now, because to be fair, I could have him climb over that thing and take it and still shoot. Move, capture, shoot, and then I wouldn't be able to capture it again until I got him dead. So I kind of have to go and capture it now. And this is the problem with playing against yourself, is because maybe I would just hope that somebody wants to keep him safe and just, you know, see what happens, but now I kind of know what I could do, so I have to play poorly to a certain extent. Whoa. Calm down. Okay, so I could just move and capture. So I'm going to shoot before... Well, I'm not going to be in cover, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to shoot before I move. And no reason, I guess, for me not to shoot the champion guy over there. So, warrior, he's got torrent 1, which does me no good. 4 dice, 3 up. Okay, well, Once per turning point, when a friendly operative is shooting, fighting, or retaining, if you roll 2 or more fails, which I did, discard one of them and retain them as normal success. You know what? I will. So we'll use our purity seal for this round on this guy. The champion, looking for 3-ups as well. Okay, well, although shooting doesn't go backwards, I need to try to remember this, that if I understand correctly, shooting is one way when it comes to double regulars to save crits. So like this doesn't block 2 regulars, but I could spin 2 regulars to block a crit. Otherwise, it's just crit for crit, if I understand that correctly. So this is still just 2 saves, and then 1 regular goes through, which is going to be, what? 3 whole damage. And then he could roll a dice on a 5 or 6, which he doesn't roll. He'd save 1, so irrelevant. 6-inch move puts me definitely in range, because I just measured it. And we will capture the middle point. And oh boy, is he out there. Classic move. Me putting him right behind the light pole from the camera. Nice. Okay. So their turn. They only got 1 guy left. And it's the guy straight in front of me. Their heavy guy. He may as well start shooting. And I'm going to put this face up because he's the last guy for them to go. Heavy gunner. Plague Spewer. 5 dice, 2 up, 3/3, range 8, which I'm definitely in 8. Saturate, doesn't matter. Severe, might matter. Torrent 2, doesn't matter. So 5 dice, 2 up. Let's see. 2 shoot or 2 fight. If it's 2 shoot action, the bolt pistol, bolt gun, or psychic weapon must be selected. So he can't shoot twice. Makes some sense. What did I say? 5 dice? 5 dice, 2 up. So no crits. So that will upgrade to a crit with severe. Not that it matters because I got 3/3, I guess. Our warrior is gonna have his 3 dice. Whenever a operative is shooting at this operative, defense dice results 5 up or critical successes. So got a little bit of extra oomph to pack, I guess. What am I looking for? 3s? 3s. Okay, well, we got crit for crit, not that it matters. Hit for hit. So 2 go through, that's what, 6 damage? Big Spewer 3/3. Yeah, 6 damage. 6 damage on the warrior. Okay. So the last guy that I have to go is my other warrior. And he doesn't really have anything exciting to speak of. But what I can do is double shoot and try to get rid of that guy right there, because I don't have any range to speak of that I need to worry about. So I got 4 dice on 3s. Piercing crits 1. So this could work. 1, 2, 3, 4 dice on 3s. I spoke way too soon. Okay. Feels horrendous. Let's shoot again. Because he has Bolter Discipline. He is just that good. Also, because he knows he's garbage shooting. Okay. Okay, and double saves. All right, big nothing from this guy. Honestly, there's no point in me moving him anywhere because, where's he gonna go? What's he gonna do? Go ahead and flip all of these. That's flipped. Flipped. This is flipped. So it is 4 on 4 currently. They've got less damage out than I do. Or they have less damage taken. But they also have 2 points, which is going to be put them at 4. I've got 1, which is going to put me at 3. Okay. Also, minor gripe. On the sculpted tool, this has hash marks for each inch. This is printed. Why does this not have little marks for each inch? Whatever. What do I know? Okay. So we're going into round 3 of 4. This is my roll. Okay. This is their roll. Oh, there is hope after all. My roll. Maybe not. Their roll. Yeah, okay. That's more like it. So they're going first again. Big, big, big unfortunate time that we live in. I think So I believe this guy is a free target for me to shoot at right now because he is over an inch away from this cover, if I understand correctly. So I could go with this guy and shoot, or I could go ahead and move with this guy and try to get rid of him early. I could also go with this guy and probably have a decent chance at maybe getting rid of the middle guy. Let's see. This dude has a move of what? Yeah, he's got a little goo guy on his shoulder. Moves at 5. So, I'm gonna see. Maybe I can move here and grab this token for 2 victory points. But I'd have to move dash to get there, and even that'd probably put me in range. But I would have to move dash, pick up, so no shooting. So what we're going to do to maybe try to make this as safe as I can for this dude is we'll go with this guy. And we will shoot at our middle dude again. 4, 5. 5 on 2 ups. All thingies, but he didn't crit, so this one can be a crit. I roll 3, looking for 3s. Okay, so we're saving 3, so 1 gets through. Not a big deal at all. That puts me at 9. And he can't really do anything else to speak of, so. I do kind of wish there was maybe a little bit more. I do like the activation count difference, so like different teams could be better at different things. But I do wish there was kind of a defensive thing or an offensive thing you could do to help, like in this case, him staying there and shooting. I kind of wish there was something else he could do, because kind of just wasting some of his action points by not doing anything else, I guess. But that's okay. So it is my turn. Not gonna lie, I'm tempted to shoot at that dude, but also need to grab some stuff. So I think what we're gonna do here actually is climb. Definitely have enough movement allowance. I think we're gonna shoot here. I don't think he's close enough to anything to count as having cover, which again, the second damn game I've played, I'm not real sure, but I'm gonna shoot with the sergeant at their bombardier, which is 4 dice, 2 up, piercing crits. So, could be a good one. 4 dice. Okay, all regular hits, that's fine. What do they got? 3 up, probably? Everybody I think's got 3 up. Yeah, 3 up. So double saves. Bloop, bloop. So 2 go through for 6. 6, and then on a 5 or 6, he could reduce that by 1. Okay, so that's 5 damage. Just kidding. Bam. Okay. So this man, I definitely have enough movement going over this guy, so we're just gonna hit pop over here, and we're gonna capture that, which gives us 2 victory points. And that is his action. Shoot, move, capture. I'm okay with that. It's their turn. I think we go with does that have doesn't. Ooh. I do kind of feel like he would get, like, this guy here would get cover because he's within an inch of this and he's kind of obscured, and if I move this guy over here and shot through this lane, it's, you know, kind of a big mess. So I do feel like he probably have cover, but I don't really know what cover does. I'm not gonna lie. I think it basically just gives you 1 guaranteed save, if I remember correctly. But I don't remember correctly. Let's go with... We can also shoot this guy. But that guy's low. So fuck it, we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to take the champion. And he's got a, what? 5-inch move. Is somewhere over here-ish. Give or take some distance. And I'm gonna shoot. Maybe you can see it better here. Nope, he's still behind a light pole. Basically through this window. He's kind of whatever. I don't really know. It does have piercing 1 anyways. And I think we're gonna supercharge that sucker again. I just realized they have playgrounds. I have not shot a single person with a bolter with them yet, so I haven't even had to deal with the poison. Just been spewers, plasma guns, and melee. Anyways, 4 dice, 3 up, 5, 6, range 8. Yeah. What did I say? 4 dice, 3 up. 4 dice, 3 up, 5, 6. Hot, so maybe it'll kill him, but it won't. Piercing 1, so I get less damage. He's guaranteed a crit. Holy shit. That is a bunch of misses, but... Although actually, severe, I think, turns a success into a crit. Yeah, 1 normal is a crit. I don't think he gets anything on that. I think he just whiffed that completely. He did. Hell yeah. About time my luck turned around. All right. Dick, my turn. Which actually... There's nobody in control range of that, so I might actually run... for this objective here. Not exactly sure how this would work. I'd have to move. I think I'd have to move dash, because I don't think that gets me quite within an inch with his 6 move. I'd have to move dash claim. That doesn't feel great. But if I wait too long... Like just a smidge. Yep. Just... Let's see. Well, color me shocked. I actually am right within an inch. So we will move, we will claim, and then we will blast this guy with our bolt rifle. 4 on 3 up. Piercing crits 1. Ooh, double crits. Ayo. I only get 2. So he could cancel one of these. Unfortunate, but whatever. That is 4 damage on him, which would be, what, 7? But on a 5 or a 6, he can reduce it. He would. What an a-hole. Back to 6. Where's the 6? There it is. Okay. So it is back to them, and they have 2 guys. I think... it doesn't really matter which we go with. I don't really think so. But it would be funny. I know what I'm going to do with that guy over there, and it doesn't really change anything. So we're going to go with our warrior, and we are going to shoot this guy, I think. We're going to move and shoot this guy. So we're going to get in contest range, just in case this dude wants to come back and try to help. Yeah, we're going to shoot. And if we do any damage, he will actually do some poison stuff because he has a bolt gun. So 4 dice, 3 up. That is a bunch of stuff. No crit, but does he have severe? Ooh, this guy doesn't have severe. Only his knife has severe. That is weird. Okay. Well, no crit. 3 regulars. This guy, I'm looking for 3s. A 1, a 2, and a 1. You son of a... You son of a bitch. What? So that's 3 regulars for 9 damage. God dang. And now he's put a poison token, which I don't know what a poison token look like, but this feels like a poison token to me, kind of. Got a skull on it. Okay. Well, that sucks. I think now when I activate him, he'll take a damage, and because of the vents, whenever an enemy operative that has one of your poison tokens is activated within 3 inches of a friendly plague marine, inflict D3 damage on it instead of the normal 1. So you might get some extra gook on him. But it is my turn, sons of bitches. What to do, what to do. Kind of tempted to make a run for that other objective, actually. I'm not gonna lie. How far can I run? Because he's almost dead. He's only got 5 health left, so he needs to do something. So I can move, dash. Move, dash, grab my other thingy. That gives me 2 more things. That's 5, 6, 7. But that's, well, no, move, dash, pick up. Yeah, that's all of his actions. So that's all he can do. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm not optimistic. Although right now it's looking pretty good. Because they don't have anybody near their stuff. Which, my original plan with this guy was to move him over here and throw a grenade at this guy. I don't think I'm going to do that because, like I was just talking about, they don't have anybody near this. So I think this guy should start working his way around. He moves 5. I could move dash, still probably throw something. So 6, 7, 8-ish. Or around here, give or take some distance. I'd say he can't really see him. It's like very, so he's not going to do anything. So he'll just keep his conceal order just in case he needs it. So that is everybody except my sniper. That guy's gone. I didn't flip his token. Yeah, that's everybody but my sniper. So sniper. I could shoot this guy. I could. Well, he does have 5 damage. Actually, I am going to shoot this guy. Because I haven't done any damage to the heavy guy yet. So, and he's not within an inch of anything. So, probably go with the Mortis sniper rifle again. Devastating 3, piercing 1, silent, heavy. I'm not going anywhere. 4 dice, 2 up, devastating 3. 4 dice, 2 up. Okay. So that just auto does damage of 3, so that puts him on 8. Now, if the disgustingly resilient rule affects that, just let me know. I'm not sure. Piercing 1, so he's only going to have 2. And he's looking for 3s. So he's going to save 1, take 1. So that's another, what, 3? Yeah. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. And then on a 5 or 6, he could reduce it. Nope. So I could potentially kill him. I'm going to spend my last 2 AP on the second shoot action because it's a sniper rifle. Same gun, 4 2-ups. Not as good. And double saves. So no dice. He lives to fight another day. Sad. Okay. I think that's everybody. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Yes, it is. Okay. Flip some ready tokens. That guy went. Okay. So, we are going into the last round. We have both still killed this same amount. I do have 2 objectives, which is going to put me at a total of 9. Because I've grabbed both of my containers at this point. They will probably get at least one of theirs for sure. They might get both of theirs this turn. And they have 1 objective, which puts them at 5. So right now, I'm up 5-9. And we're both equal on kills. But, and to be fair, we're pretty similar on damage at this point too. So hey, this is something. Okay. Well, my roll. Their roll. Wow, I'm going first this time. The last round. All right, sick. Now, I think to guarantee that they do not get this objective, I need to try to shoot this dude. And the easiest way for me to do that is going to be with a sniper, I think. So, we're going to go ahead and rerun what we just did. Now, what was punishing? You retain any crit, retain 1 fail as a normal success. What? You retain any crit, retain 1 fail as normal success? That doesn't make any sense. Retain any crits, you can retain 1 of your fails as a normal success. Discarding. Oh, so why is punish? Okay, I read that all wrong the first time. Punishing definitely sounded worse, like it was punishing me for getting a crit. But if I get a crit, I get to upgrade 1 of my fails to a normal success also. Why would I ever use the other guns then? I don't understand. And it has saturate, so no cover stuff. It's still silent, it's still heavy, it just doesn't have the devastating part to like insta-deal damage. I guess maybe you could like Executioner into the Mortis version to like try to guarantee you delete someone? I don't know. Oh, whatever. So we're going to go with a sniper. We're shooting 4 crap. I don't know how much damage this guy had. I think he had 9, 6. I think he had 6. We're gonna go with 6. I don't know. It's this guy. No. That guy. He did have 9. Now I remember. Yes, 9. Okay. Good lord. Sniper shooting at the bombardier. Because he's not close enough to anything, so I think he's a free shot. Executioner sniper, 4 dice, 2 ups. Sick. Sick. Of course, the punishing rule that I just read plays absolutely no part here. And it's not piercing. So, disappointing. So they're going to get all 3 dice, looking for 3s. That is all the saves. Guess we go 1 crit, 1 regular. I think that makes the most sense. So that's going to be what? 4, 5, 6, 7. It actually doesn't matter. Even if I saved 1, he is already at 11. He only needs 3 wounds to die. So he's taking 7. He's dead. So this guy is gone, which works well for me. And that gives me another kill point. Now I could technically still shoot a second time, because that was only my first action. I might as well shoot at the only other guy I could see, which is straight across from me. So 4 dice. I think we're gonna roll with the same. I think we're going to roll with the same weapon. So as saturate, so I don't have to worry about the cover. Yeah, sure. 4s on 2 up. That is all hits. He still has to roll it because it has saturate, so he doesn't get the cover bonuses. I think Defender can't retain cover saves. Can't retain cover saves? They cannot automatically retain. That makes more sense. Automatically is a keyword that's missing there. Okay, so Spewer, heavy guy, looking for 3s. That is 2 saves. So 2's gonna go through for 6. 6 damage. And then on a 5 or a 6, doesn't matter. All right, that was a good activation from him. I'll take it. So it is their turn, and they actually, oh, he was back here. Well, you can't see him anyways. I actually think, although that could be a death sentence for him. But at this, it's still 3. Need to go with someone else. We're going to go with the champion. And we are going to dash. We're going to grab this objective marker, which is going to give them 2 victory points. And that's 7. And then we are going to full move, which is 5. And this is the end of the game. So he's got 2 people that can shoot him, but I don't have enough to try to capture that objective. And if he dies, I only got 6 wounds. I think he's going to go for the capture point right here. Not that you could see him. So he's going to dash. Oh, he can't. Had to dash, capture, move. So there's no point in me coming over here. Might as well just dash capture and try to shoot. Although he can't shoot because both of his guns have an 8-inch range. What we can do, because of where that was technically, though his dash was pretty limited. We are still in range of this guy back here, so we'll just shoot at him. We're going to go with the supercharged pistol again. So we're going to move, or dash, collect, shoot. 4 dice, 3 ups. Okay, crit's really good with the supercharge. Does 6 whole damage. We're rolling 2 because he has piercing. Yes, he does. That is 1 save. So that is doing 6 damage to our grenade boy, which puts him at 15 wounds. So no poison mechanic for us. I was trying to avoid shooting at him just so we could actually play out the poison mechanic, but whatever. Even to the kill field. Good. But it's back to me. And I don't think I'm going to have enough move stat to get to that objective, so that might be... Oh, but if they have that in the last round, they're going to get extra points. This is actually... I mean, you are playing yourself. It is kind of like a mental chess game, but this is actually, I feel like, coming down to it a little bit. But at the same time, the heavy guy can still just come right over that barrier and take that objective. Let's see. How far can this sergeant go? 3, 6 inches. Not going to be able to. This would reduce me to 5-ish inches. Would get me basically to the corner. 3 inches for a dash. I'm not going to be able to get close enough to capture that objective. So that is not an option. I need to do 8 damage to the spewer. I don't have any damage on the other guy, so I don't really have a good hope of trying to kill anything. I need like 9 damage on the champion. Just so I at least get that bonus point for killing. Okay, well, damn. I think I'm going to move just so I'm in contest range, so one guy can't just come over here and take this. So I'll at least have one. And then I will probably double shoot at the champion. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of all I got, to be fair. Intercessor warrior, 4 dice, 3 ups. Oh, no, not warrior, sergeant. Yeah, sergeant, 4 dice, 2 ups. Hell yeah. Piercing crits 1, so he's only going to get 2 dice. That is 2 fails. That is 4 plus 9 for 13. And it doesn't matter what he does, he can't save it. So big roll on that, which actually means now I could spend my second shoot action on the spewer, who knows? Maybe I do a similar amount of damage. I don't know. So we'll spend my last action, move, shoot on the spewer. Is this easier to see? Yeah, kind of. This guy and that guy. Nothing else. It makes it a little different for you. 4 dice on 2s. That is literal 2s. Okay. Now, though have piercing crits 1, so he's only going to get 2. He does have cover, so he's going to automatically have a save. But what kind of save is the question. I mean, I just say he has cover, so I'm just going to give him a light save. I don't know if that's how that works, because there's also cover and obscuring. Although if you're obscured, greater than 1 inch from target line and enemies, greater than 1. Discard 1 hit to obscured operative. Can't use. I'm gonna have to look up the specificities of obscured and cover. I'm just gonna run cover. He has 1 save. That's what I'm doing. So he's gonna roll his other dice. He's looking for a 3. He gets a save, so that's 2 saves, 2 hits for 6 damage, which puts him at 12 of 14. Sad. It is their turn. And the sergeant hasn't taken any damage, so the odds of him dying are pretty slim. But, in the interest of attempting, I think I have a range. No, he doesn't. So we're going to capture this. We are going to move, which his move is like 5 inches or something, close to that. And we're going to shoot this guy. He's got 4 on a 3-up. Ooh, that's rough. Sergeant looking for 3s. Ooh, that's rough for them. So his crit is what? 3, 4. Just block the crit, I guess. So I'm going to take 3 damage. So he is safe. Which means the last... Oh, well, it's my turn. It's my turn. I think... Because there's no shot of... Well, hold on. All right, let me walk around here and measure this for official business. So we got 3. Yeah, hell no. Okay. I'm not gonna go that guy. I'm just gonna shoot him. I'm gonna move. For sure can't take this. And then I guess I'll probably double shoot. 4 on 3s. He's got cover. I do not have piercing crits. So give him his save. He's looking for 3s. Okay, crit for crit, hit for hit. That's 3 damage. That kills him. So Don't have to worry about that guy after all. Not gonna lie, that dude's hit on that champion killing him is kind of crazy. And I think that is the end of the game. So that kill puts me at that. That is the end of that. Let me count objectives. So that's going to be 2 more for them. 1 for me. Now, the qualifiers, I believe they get an extra point if they have more objectives captured, which would put them at 6, 10. And then I had more kills than they did, which would put me at 13. So it was my win with the Angels of Death, 13-10. So actually, that played out more competitively than I maybe was expecting based on the start. So that was pretty good. I do like the little bit of a mixture of having like the one tac op in there. To be fair, at the end of the day, it is my game and I could kind of do what I want. I do kind of like the idea of having like the overall thing and then having the secondary thing. And I know that the approved ops does have a capacity of that, but looking at approved ops, especially off rip, it's really overwhelming. So I'm not even going to bother with that. But playing the kind of base type of modes, if you will. And I know there's different kind of variants of like the preliminary ops. Having the secondary mission, the tac op cards to kind of mix up what else is happening, I think is a good thing. I will say, I really dig the look of the Death Watch kill team, but you won't obviously be able to buy them on their own for what, 3 months or something like that. So I don't know. There's a lot of teams. The Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm not a big Warhammer lore person. This is, you know, it's all kind of a big entry point for me, just because I think the Warhammer stuff's really cool. I don't know what the kill team's called. Something Cade? I don't know. There's a cool looking kill team with Adeptus Mechanicus, but it's not like its own box, it seems. You have to like buy boxes to build the kill. I don't know. So I'm kind of interested in that. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm actually interested in, but god dang, in the money department, whoo, I ain't buying nothing. There's so much stuff that, like, the TV down here is kind of a priority, because trying to look at chat on an iPad sitting on the other side of the table is kind of a pain in the butt, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like not being able to see my OBS stuff, except for over here, so it's all kind of crappy, but it is what it is. So more stuff's gonna have to wait. I am gonna work on repainting some terrain, and that'll at least give us some variance, but it's all good. Again, if you're not subbed, when we hit 1,000 subs, we're giving away 2 Legion core boxes, a Clone Wars and Empire, and a new unbox Yoda. So there's probably gonna be some more stuff that comes up by the time that we hit that point. So there'll be a big batch of giveaways once we hit 1,000 subs. So if you're not already and you enjoyed this, hit the sub button. If you want to see specific types of stuff, let me know. If you want to correct all the things that I did wrong, feel free to. Granted, I wasn't exactly playing like a normal structured game. I'm just getting kind of familiar with the rolling and all the stuff. Which, to be fair, I think my favorite part of this game system is its melee, and I didn't really do a whole lot of melee this time around. I just did a bunch of shooting. So that's fine. I will probably do kind of the same thing that I did for Shatterpoint and do first impressions type thing. Just kind of going over general thoughts and stuff with Kill Team. I'll probably want to play it once or twice more and maybe have a bit of a more normal preliminary ops type experience. I'm not even going to touch approved ops in its entirety yet. But we'll come back to that. So, also on that front, if there's any specific actual video type content that you want from me, just yell at me in the comments. The live stream stuff's easy enough to do, and I could just kind of come down here and chill out and hang out with you guys. That's one thing, video content. I've got a pea brain, so hey. But that's going to do it for this one. What am I saying? I appreciate you guys sitting here and hanging out. Had a bit of a dip there, sorry. I appreciate you guys sitting here and hanging out with me while we do this, because I enjoy playing this and I don't have a local game store to really go to. So this is as good as it gets. So I enjoy you guys hanging out with me. I will see y'all in the next one. All right. Bye, guys.
The power of the dark side.